What is a life hack that doesn't require you to do anything new? Just change the order in which you are already doing something. Thoroughly clean your home before leaving for vacation. Coming back to a clean house is a great ending to a vacation instead of coming back and being thrust back into regular life as soon as you walk in the door. I usually try to do that. It's a great feeling. Eat the frog. It's a riff on a Mark Twain quip. Eat a live frog first thing in the morning and nothing worse will happen to you the rest of the day. That basically means do something you really don't want to first thing in the day, and everything else looks better. For example, send out that email letting the team know your part of a project is delayed, whatever you're really dreading, as opposed to what's most pressing or difficult. That's why I work out in the morning. Mise en place, meaning before you even think about cooking or turning on the stove, make sure all your ingredients are prepped. This makes cooking a lot easier and much faster. Also, instead of using a bunch of bowls, get a big tray. Makes cleaning up so much easier. Also, try to clean as you go. It's easier to wash dishes while still wet instead of letting food cake on. There will be moments where you're just waiting around instead of actually cooking, and utilizing those minutes to do a quick cleanup makes all the difference in the world. Do your laundry before any other chore. While the machine is running, you're technically doing multiple chores at once. There was a pro tip on Reddit a couple months ago that suggested doing something productive such as a small chore immediately after getting up. This gives you a feeling of productivity that often helps you roll into the rest of your day with a get crap done attitude. Weekdays are all about work, so I usually don't have a problem, but on the weekends I've been trying it with some decent results. I stumble to the kitchen to make coffee and then do dishes while I'm waiting for the coffee to brew. So far it's been good. Makes it much easier to avoid getting stuck spinning through Reddit or Instagram all morning. Add the attachment to an email first. Most people address the email and type the body first, which can lead to forgetting to add the attachment. On a related note, add the recipients last. It'll help keep you from accidentally sending a half-finished, poorly edited email. Shampoo hair, rinse hair, condition hair, soap body, rinse hair and body. I used to soap my body before doing anything hair related. Such a waste of time, and the conditioner doesn't get a chance to settle in. Not to mention, any conditioner residue left on your body can cause some nasty breakouts. If you have a large sink, when cooking or baking, do your mixing and measuring in or over the kitchen sink for super easy cleanup. Start a recipe by pulling out and lining all the ingredients up in recipe order and put them back where they go as you use them. You miss less ingredients, and by the time you are done making the recipe, your counter has been cleaned off. Plant a fruit tree today instead of living in a house for 10 years then saying, "Man, I wish I planted a fruit tree 10 years ago." Not going to stay there forever. Fruit trees are a huge selling feature of a house and will almost certainly get you more on the sale price of the house than the $25 you spent on the tree. If you look in my post history, you can see my place and how much I have transformed it. Not your house renting etc. Look what you can grow in pots. Make your mistakes and learn from them today, so that one day if you move, you not only will already have learned a ton, but you will also potentially bring a nice potted tree with you ready to plant in its final home. Either way, planting a tree today, even all those points aside, is just a really rad thing you can do for the planet and the bees, and it will give you something to look forward to watching grow, a reason to wake up and get out of bed and see that first peach on your peach tree. As a gardener and new homeowner who just planted a dogwood and a witch hazel tree last week, I feel all of this advice so much. If you're moving, pack an overnight bag just like you're going away for the weekend. Changes of clothes, socks and underwear for a couple of days, toiletries, stuff to read, phone charger, snacks, etc. That way, if you don't get around to unpacking your boxes with clothes or bathroom toiletries on that first day, you won't have to go crazy tearing through all of your boxes to find your toothbrush and a clean shirt. This is a must. We planned on moving to the other side of the state, had everything packed in the U-Haul, planned on leaving that afternoon. Then we got one of our freak ice storms that closed down part of the state. Had to sleep in the clothes I wore all day and wear for the next 5-hour drive. I now have an emergency bag in my car just in case. Eat something before you go grocery shopping. It'll significantly increase your resistance to unintended candy purchases. And keep hydrated. Dehydration leads to sugar cravings. Making cold chocolate milk with powdered chocolate. The trick I found is to put a little milk in the glass first, then the powder, stir that up, and then top with more cold milk. No clumps of undissolved powder at the bottom, and the chocolate is distributed through the whole glass. I do this. Works exactly like you described. So every year my dad and I sit down around Christmas and figure out my monthly income bills so I can figure out a good amount to automatically deposit into my savings when I get paid. It's great because it forces me to stick to a budget and also controls impulsive spending. It works a lot better than saving at the end of the month. I agree. Save first. Spend what's left later. This is also called pay yourself first in some personal finance books. Fill your mouth with water before popping the pill in. That way there's no semi-dry surface for the pill to stick to. It's especially useful for chalky or large pills. I do this. Everybody who sees it thinks it's weird. If you are planning to do something the next day, the night before do some prep work for it. Pack your gym bag the night before so you don't have to think about it the next day. It solves so many issues. Need information for a meeting the next morning? Spend 15 minutes getting it together the night before. I use a 15-minute rule. When I was 19, I worked for a local screen printing shop. Depending on orders and workflow, we would spend the last 15 minutes of work setting up for the next day, so that when we arrived, we could just start off rolling. It helps so freaking much. I encourage that type of work behavior. If your job shifts to another person, if each of you spend 15 minutes to make the next person's job easier, do it. It makes the workspace such a better place to be in. I'm not saying you're wrong, but the fact this is worthy of being called a life hack and isn't treated like common knowledge kills me inside. Not sure how much this counts as changing the order, but get the heck out of the 9 to 5 as much as you can with your employer. Work 8 to 4 instead, or 10 to 6. I work 7 to 3:30, half-hour lunch. I see basically no traffic, and I don't have to find time to take care of things like trips to the bank that are restricted to normal business hours. I've got plenty of time every afternoon to take care of stuff. If I leave work 10 minutes early, I get home 15-20 minutes earlier. I work in a 19-story building with a 9-floor parking garage. If you leave at the same time as everyone else, you're probably waiting 5 minutes just for the elevator and then sitting in the garage as everyone slowly badges out. Show up 10 minutes early, leave 10 early, way easier. This barely counts as a life hack, but do your homework when you get home, and not after you spend hours watching TV, going on social media, etc. When you do finally sit back and entertain yourself, you won't have the homework chewing away at the back of your mind the whole time. Ha, joke's on you. I never gave a crap about the homework in the first place. Prep for your day the night before. Pack lunches, prepare the coffee pot, lay out outfits, pack your work bag, etc. Then, knock out as many remedial tasks as you can to start your day, that is, shower, dress, make bed, make breakfast, clean kitchen, answer emails, finish tasks from the day before. Keeping your mind and life organized are a great way to increase productivity and reduce stress. Pour your cream in before your coffee and it will mix itself. No spoon needed. Came here to say this. I've saved over 12,453 spoons. When going to wash dishes or load them into the dishwasher, always go around the house apartment and gather every dirty dish and put them on the counter by the dishwasher. The old pots that are on the stove, bring those over. Everything. Too many times I've washed dishes, thought I was done, and then turned around to see a pile behind me. Just do what my kids do and completely ignore every dish that isn't actually in the sink already. My dentist told me to floss first, brush after. Sure enough, my mouth tastes better. For long hair, can add conditioner to the ends, then add shampoo by the roots and rinse it all out simultaneously. I also like to wash my back after all this to get the conditioner residue off. When I'm feeling lazy as I'm getting dressed, sitting down, I put my jeans on around my ankles. then sock shoe, then stand up and put my pants on. Only requires me to move each leg once, and only stand up once. My wife and I rarely get date nights, but when we do we usually take my kid to her dad's house for the evening. So, we've learned this. Bang first thing after getting home from dropping the kid off, then dinner and whatever else we were going to do. Yes, if we don't do this we run out of time for fucks every dang time. Simple hack. Don't cover your toothbrush completely with toothpaste. It's the problem with advertising. Toothpaste companies would advertise the toothpaste covering the whole toothbrush, therefore making you run out of toothpaste quicker and having to go back to the store and buy more toothpaste, which makes the company more money. Realistically, you only need about a pea-sized amount of toothpaste. When tying your shoes, you either tie a square knot or a granny knot. The square knot holds a lot better. If the bow goes across the shoe, it's a square knot. If the bow runs up and down the shoe, it's a granny knot. It all starts when you make the first tie of the shoe. If you have the granny knot, simply change the way you make that first move. If you use right over left, change to left over right instead. I didn't figure this out until my 40s. It's a simple change but took me a while to do it naturally. Tying a shoe had become such a habit with no thinking involved. Took a while to develop the new habit. That's assuming that I'm not part of Team Velcro. When at a potluck, eat dessert first. The line is non-existent while everyone fills a plate with the main course. By the time you're done with pie, the line for the main course is reasonable, and you've already had pie. And since you already ate, it is time for dessert. More pie. I'm really bad to just sort of drop stuff where I drop it. It's an ADHD thing, I think. It's really hard for me to remember in the moment to get my butt up and go over to the trash can, or to put stuff in a specific hamper. So instead of deciding where trash cans hampers ought to go and then going to them, my husband has watched me for a week or two when we move into a new place to see where I tend to drop things and just put hampers, trash cans in those places. Keeps the place much cleaner. Short version. Don't decide where disposal storage bins should go. Put them where you tend to leave things in the first place. Put your underwear on after you get dressed. That way not only do you look like a superhero, but you also avoid those unwanted body smells in your underwear. You can thank me later. Zips jeans in crazed paranoia. If you have a slow person in your house, tell them be ready at 4:45 instead 5. My mom would do that to my dad and I. It worked. This is gonna sound weird, but I used to get really bad gas and I'd take a pill that never seemed to work and then I'd end up curled in a ball until I finally expelled the issue. I later learned that if I just curl up into a ball at the beginning and wiggle my butt in the air, the problem expels much faster, and now gas pains are never an issue. Is that considered a life hack? This is my favorite comment. Slicing meat across the grain, against direction of the little lines you see on, say, a roast, instead of with grain, going with the lines, gives you a more tender bite. One time I spent $13 on a pound of pastrami only to get home and see the entire thing was sliced in the direction of the grain. Worst pastrami ever. Start drinking black coffee, that way you don't need to worry about the order you add stuff. Dang, big dairy's got to everyone here. I actually learned to drink my coffee black because I was tired of having to throw away milk. I only used it for coffee and now and then mac and cheese. Add dressing to your lettuce only in mix. Then add everything else, like cheese or bacon or onion or whatever, and mix again. Best salad ever. When you're leaving your place to go somewhere, check your pockets for essential items, keys, wallet, phone, etc. immediately before walking out the door, instead of an hour and a half afterwards when you're wondering why your pockets are so light. Testicles, spectacles, wallet, and watch. So, I usually have a bowl of oatmeal and a cup of tea for breakfast. I start by putting the kettle on for the tea. I put enough in for the tea plus the oatmeal. When I pour the water for my tea, I measure out 240 milliliters of it for my oatmeal and pour it, now preheated, into the saucepan to cook my oatmeal in. That way I don't have to wait as long for the water to boil because it just was boiling a moment ago. Tea is steeped just a little before the oatmeal is ready, and by the time I've pulled the tea bag out, the oatmeal is perfect. On a side note, I keep a stack of containers in the cupboard that I make up every Sunday night which have oatmeal and all of the dry ingredients I put into it already measured, so all I have to do is dump the lot into the boiling water and cook it. If you wash up, do the dishes for Americans in the sink and have a little container for the cutlery to dry in. Put only spoons in one slot, knives in another and forks in the other. Then when they are dry you can just grab a handful of spoons and throw them all in the drawer. Works the same for a dishwasher too. But then all the little fricks nestle together. Brush your teeth in the shower, the most pleasant part of waking up, especially if, like me, you are not a morning person, is taking a nice, hot shower. You have to brush your teeth anyway, so doing it in the shower allows you to extend the most pleasant component of your morning routine without costing you additional time. Instructions unclear, dead because electric toothbrush. Getting strange dark spots on your clothes from washing them? Put the soap in the washing machine with the water before you put the clothes in. It stops detergent stains from happening. Similarly, if you're trying to dilute wasabi with soy sauce, start by putting like 3 drops on the wasabi, work it into a smooth paste, then add more soy sauce. It'll stop it from being chunky. Please hang your laundry right away. It's why your clothes are faded and wrinkled and mine are crisp and colorful years later. No, my clothes are faded and wrinkled because the shirt I'm wearing today, I bought before I was married. Floss then brush your teeth. Get those food particles away from your teeth so that the toothpaste can do its job. If you floss after you brush you are just cleaning food particles, then removing them and leaving unbrushed tooth area in its wake. Floss then brush. Chores go by much easier if you set rewards for yourself. If I clean the dishes, I'll make myself a coffee, then I'll tackle the laundry and spend 10 minutes on Reddit. Once I got into this mentality, housework wasn't nearly so horrible. I saw a Reddit post one time where a bunch of commenters pointed out that if you put the creamer in the cup and then pour the coffee it mixes itself. If you are losing motivation, just start jumping as fast as you or even running. It gives you a huge amount of energy and then do whatever you want to do. Charge your wireless headphones after the gym each time. Then you'll avoid the situation of wanting to go to the gym but hanging around until the headphones are charged. Fap before texting your crush girl you are interested in. This prevents you from making any stupid decision like agreeing to drive 2 hours just to meet her even though you have no confirmation that it's actually a woman on the other side. No, the example has nothing to do with me, I swear. Get a sleep schedule. I'm 25 and only just realized it's possible to wake up well rested. I was always tired in the morning, as if I only slept for like an hour when I actually slept for like 8-9 hours. With a sleep schedule I came to the realization that it's possible to feel awake in the morning and actually not have the addictive urge to put your head back down and close your eyes. If you are new to the channel, you can subscribe. I publish new videos every day. Until then, check another video. Bye for now.